Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Drop Room. This time, we've got a very special episode on tap, as not only are you getting the familiar faces of me, DarfMike, and the lovely Baltybaby, but we've got the spectacular, the tremendous agM.
That's the
AGM,
nicest
how
thing
you doing?
anybody's ever called me.
Well, accurate. I mean,
Hey, that's what we
all I
do
do
here.
is tell the truth, man. I'm a truth teller.
Hey, when you come
Definitely.
on this show, we brown nose the shit out of you. All right? That's how we do it on this show. We make sure that our guests love being here.
Balti just snake in the back and then nice to your face. We're gonna get into that.
Exactly.
There's some beef here, and by that I mean there's not really a beef, but I'm going to make there be a beef. I'm gonna generate some drama here. But in addition to having the lovely agM on our show here to talk to us, he's deigned to take time from his mad fragger lifestyle to sit down with us for a few moments and talk about his life, CS this season, all that good stuff. We've also got some talk about the major, which just first stage of that just completed. Some interesting results there, some exciting things for NA. We're going to talk about DreamHack Montreal, which no one watched because the major was on, but some interesting things happened there as well. So we'll talk about that. And then we're going to talk about some roster movements because apparently the week before the season starts is the time to make all of the changes in the Mountain Dew League. So it's been utter chaos. Waiver wire on the Baltybaby Fantasy League's been nuts, which brings us to our final topic. All three of us are participants. One of us is the commissioner. agM and I are in the same league, so I'm expecting some little trash talk there as well. But we're going to be talking Baltybaby Fantasy League.
That was a lot.
Yeah, so
that was hype. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot on tap here. I want to start with our lovely guest, since he's deigned to grace us with his presence. We know he's the star attraction, so we're going to get right into it. agM, did you mostly agree to come on the show so you could shit talk Blake over here?
No, I just always wanted to be on here, you know?
Okay, but did you prep some shit talk for today?
No.
There's a theme that I want to get to here. How did you feel? How did you feel when Baltybaby over here called into question your fragging ability?
I mean, I liked it because, it's something to motivate you, you know? Like, obviously, Balti's, wasn't wrong in the beginning, right? Like, when you see a coach start to play again, that's always bad, you know? Especially, it was like 2.5 years for me since the last time I played, so it was definitely some time. I mean, just look at Space Soldier's coach. You know, I know he doesn't really play CS, but
Yeah, that was
he tried his
intense.
best.
That's like the extreme end of it too. Like hardstyle, and even like next when he was coaching for Envious, like French Envious when they were still a thing, like he came into a few games and he was atrocious. So like there is kind of like a coach playing stigma that I was giving into.
Did you watch any of the Space Soldier games?
I did not.
Okay.
I did.
They were all really close though, and I feel like the team should have felt bad. Like Renegades going in overtime, you know, like I don't know. The first game, the first match was like 16-10, 16-11, and the guy had 3 kills.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
Like, yeah, like here's the thing: like if they actually played with Engine, they would have been fine.
Yeah.
Like I actually think they would have taken some maps.
They probably would have made it, honestly.
Probably.
There were some weaker teams. Like they definitely could have made it through.
For sure.
But yeah, did that as a former coach, now player? I mean, admittedly, you got that mad fragging ability, but did you just feel a little sympathetic twinge?
Yeah, you have to. I mean, like, there's always been stories of the coach not going to play, and it always causes issues. You know, like with Peacemaker, and it was Ty Lue, right? That he wasn't going to stand in or something. And that's just, I think that's ridiculous because, I mean, the 4 other people work so hard to get there, you know, he might as well just do it and let them actually play on stage. So you do have to give Hardstyle props, especially since he doesn't actually play the game.
Which is surprising. A coach who doesn't play the game at all. Like, I guess he's just there for life motivation. He's like, hey guys, we can do it. Click your mouses and click WASD and get yourself over there. Like, he doesn't know what's going on.
I mean, you can see it. A coach who, I mean, usually coaches background in the game like Ruin's a good example for you guys now, but he doesn't really play competitively and hasn't in a while. But what they can bring to the game is a discipline of like practice schedules and whatnot. B, the mental side of things, keeping players engaged, that kind of thing.
I mean, I'm a pet and never played competitively either.
Very true.
Good example. Good example. When I launch my coaching career, I'm going to be bringing the Silver 2 skills to the
who are you looking to coach? What if you're going to put out your LFT on Twitter for your coaching role?
I'll
are you
cut
gonna say,
Ruin
like,
right now.
Plus?
We'll cut Ruin right now.
No, I couldn't take Corey's job. That would literally be the most pressure in the world. I would just instantly like explode from the absurdity. No, I'll the next time a meme team makes it to the MDL, I'll hentai weeaboo Master Lords. I'll put the name of the ring for the coaching job.
That is dangerous.
My coaching will be, all right, guys, it's an eco round. Everybody buy a Zeus, find a corner, and just wait. Oh, it's a buy round. Dually crab walk, guys. Dually crab walk.
I like it. You know what? I think that could work in the MDL. Maybe not like in season 30 MDL when it'll be much more competitive, but maybe like right now, just before it gets really competitive, might be able to work out. Depends on as long as you got dually masters on your team. You can't be playing with kids that like usually just use the vanilla USP Glock. You gotta have people who are dually experts.
You have to go get this with DM and look at the people using elite dualies.
Exactly.
Elite dualies. All I'm saying is there's some rosters that need a coach. Swole Patrol hit me up. I don't think they have a coach right now.
I don't know if you're on their level. They're going to Moscow now.
Yeah, I need a free trip to Russia, man. I need a free trip. Actually, I don't know. It's kind of a weird time to go to Russia, but it'd be interesting.
Very true.
Interesting. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I will start it off. So right before we get to the topics, I want to ask how things are going with Accelerate, because I really want to know how Sidestep and Dangerous are fitting into the system right now.
It's going pretty well. We've had a lot of practice in the last week or so, and we started going over stuff a lot more in the server and ironing out a lot of just like little tiny specifics that starts to add up when you play, and the scrims have been going really well.
Good to hear. So when you go into next season, obviously schedules aren't out yet, but are you feeling like right now your team is kind of ready for anybody that they'll play?
To a certain extent. I think outside of like like the top couple teams in MDL, anybody could beat on anybody on a given day, and depending on stuff like that, and it's just finding your consistency, I think, is key for a lot of teams right now, especially since there's a lot of roster moves.
Good to hear. Anything you got there, Darf?
Yeah. Who are you expecting to be the toughest competition in MDL? Who are outside of your own roster? Who's your top 5?
Top 5.
Yeah.
Swole Patrol. No order. Swole Patrol, Bravado, Team 1, Blackout, and then I think that 5th spot is a little interesting. Vision's really good with the new roster. So is Vireo. So I think for like 5th spot, it's gonna be pretty tight with those two.
Interesting.
It's about the same kind of top 5 I had there.
I find it kind of interesting that everyone I've talked to about this is rating Team 1 really highly, which, like, I get it. They dominated Advanced. They've looked amazing. They've smacked their way through the relegation tournament. But in the qualifiers that I've seen them play, where they've actually played against top MDL teams, they haven't had the same form. I mean, they've been knocked by Swole a couple times. I think they've lost Vision at this point. I mean, they've not been of the same caliber when they're playing stiffer competition.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with like the Brazilian playstyle is a little bit 1v1 oriented. Some people would call it puggy. Brazilians I think Brazilian style CS is a little more refined, like puggy wise. It's not like puggy that obviously like they know what they're doing and stuff, but that's kind of like the MDL style as well. So MDL teams are kind of used to something like that. It doesn't really catch anybody off guard, and I think that's a big reason why too.
Okay.
They try to outscale people when MDL teams are like mostly used to just like outscaling opponents. A lot of MDL teams don't really have team-oriented things. I guess it's a lot of like 3-2s, 4-1s, and stuff like that.
All right. So, Mike, in that instance, they may be questionable against top talent, but like they're pretty much a top 8 team. Like they are a playoff team right away. Like no question.
Top 8 ain't top 5.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
Team 1's definitely a top team.
Sure, top
Is
8
it still
isn't
gonna
top
be?
5.
Is it still top 8 makes playoffs?
Yeah, I don't
Could
think they're
be.
changing that.
Because that's literally half of the Mountain Dew League. It's playoffs now.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
not
20
literally,
teams
but
now.
Literally 16 teams, isn't it? 20
Not
teams.
20 teams. They're not.
Damn it.
They're
They're
not
lowering
reducing
it per
to
season.
16.
Yeah, and then I think once it's 16, it's gonna be 6 teams like it used to be for
Yeah,
playoffs.
I would say it'd be kind of wild to have half the league make playoffs. But what do I know? Let's see. Anything else we want to ask about Accelerate? Playoffs? Guarantee?
I think
top
so.
8 guaranteed.
Guarantee. I want to hear you say it.
I guarantee it. I'm an opera.
There we go. It's done. It's done. agM, guarantee. We're getting it. Accelerate to playoffs, baby. They missed it last season, but before that, most of your team had the last 2 seasons. It's a little hard to track. There were some roster changes, but
There was a couple.
we're guaranteed. We're guaranteed back to the playoffs.
Yeah.
The dynamic duo, agM, T Connors, back to the playoffs. The rest of the squad coming along too. All right.
Hey, I'll throw it out there. I know that I've shit talked not only agM but the roster itself. But I will say they look like a top 8 team.
All I'm saying is
On
Train
paper,
GM comes
top
out.
Just you gotta rub the ooh.
I might have
agM.
to. I might have to. It's gonna be real tempting to bet on that roster band, but it's gonna be real tempting.
All right. Major talk.
Major talk.
Major talk.
How much did you get to
Alright.
watch the major, agM?
I watch it every day. I watch for most of the matches.
He's got to get all those strats. He's got to get those hard style strats. He wants to see how their coach plays.
I was at work with it in my ears, with like it tabbed behind my actual work, like oh, boss is out of the room. Major. All day. I mean, I had to get the drops, right?
You have like a office job kind of thing?
Yeah, I work a 9 to 5. It's
okay.
You know, I'm a stiff. I'm going full office space here.
Nice. Feels bad, man.
Boat stuff.
Okay.
Boat stuff.
So you at least got to listen in.
Mm-hmm.
So I've taken the liberty with our notes to give you a little bit of a storyline with each team that went to this event. So the 2 teams that made it out 3-0, Liquid and NIP. For Liquid, I think it was quite obvious. A lot of people had them going through 3-0 on their pick'ems. It was pretty expected. They look amazing. So there's no question about that. NIP, it's all about that nip magic, baby.
You
it's
believed.
all about
you believed.
Nip magic. I put on the headband
backwards. You put it on backwards.
I did.
Look at this weave. Judge him, Mike.
Now you can
roast. Don't you want to just shit talk this?
He had to get his webcam out of there. He couldn't stand seeing
No!
it.
He had to destroy the webcam. See, fun fact about agM's webcam, it's hard to capture beauty and relay it reliably. So every once in a while, you just have to smack the webcam a little bit and wake it back up.
Yeah. You gotta show it who's boss. Like, hey, I'm beautiful, all right? Stop.
Is this headband gonna make an appearance every time we talk about NIP on the show?
Yes. It's a motif. It's a symbol of this
show.
Know
a symbol, yes. I don't know if a motif is the right word.
Come on, how's it not?
I don't know.
Am I using
the only
my
reason why I
devices
watch.
wrong?
The only reason you watch is for the headband?
Yep.
He comes in and he's just like, he's Naruto running with me. He's just like,
Weeb Master Lord, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna coach anti-Weeaboo Master Lords, not me.
Yeah,
I
will. I'm all over it, even though they're kind of terrible, but it's okay.
Trash. All right, so Nip Magic, they pull it out. They miraculously get right back to the major. So baseless rumor time. Actually, I'm not gonna tell this baseless rumor because I don't know if I'm supposed to, and I have actually no base for it. But I'm not sure how much longer get right's gonna be with the squad. But they just made a major proper, so
very true.
Maybe some changing minds. I don't know.
A bunch of teams win tournaments when they're about to cut players. They go into a tournament knowing they're cutting players.
This is true. All that pressure off. Maybe that's what they finally needed to get over the line.
Yeah. And hey, I mean, what happens when a team changes a player too? Because you've seen runs where like one player comes in and they win a tournament. Obviously, Stockholm the most recent one, but it's happened before.
That honeymoon moment, the simple effect.
The simple, exactly. So those are your 3-0 teams. So Liquid was guaranteed.
We lost.
Rest in peace.
We found him.
Nip, Nip Magic is back, at least for the main qualifier. Maybe they'll just get booted out when the actual major happens. Astralis goes 3-1. I said this one was obvious as well. Like, obviously, they're going to make it through. Losing the match, I mean, they did lose to Nip, so that's how they got out 3-0. So, I mean, but overall, I mean, it went to like, what, 54 rounds that went to,
so.
I think? Yeah, it was a long game. So,
it was a cool game.
At least Nip truly earned that win because they went the distance.
Can we just talk about the fact that FACEIT should change their name to FACEOT for Face OT? Because holy crap, how do you have that much OT at a major? They took BO1 Swiss format and made it BO3s effectively with the number of rounds they played. Like,
that's ridiculous.
Next level plan.
It happened. Yeah, this LAN had a lot of OTs. Now, a team that only played Inferno 4 games in a row, NA Dream with a little bit of UK CS mixed in there. Complexity goes 3-1.
Did you believe?
No.
You didn't? You didn't have him in your pick'em?
Oh, I did. I didn't do any pick'em because I'm broke,
do a pick'em?
so I don't do pick'em. Maybe next major.
You got to do it just so I can judge you when you do poorly.
Whenever I don't pick an NA team to make it, like honestly, I probably would have picked Rogue or Complexity, and they didn't make it.
I did pick both. Rogue made me sad, but they did.
You have so much NA belief, it blows my mind.
Dude, I believed in Rogue. They looked so good the first couple days.
Right?
They did. I wanted to believe.
13 and they were up. They could have won it.
Yep.
Oh,
that was a hard match to watch.
There was a moment where Cadian comes off of balcony with an MP9, and there's 2 blinded players in pit, and he has the lineup, and he like panic sprays and doesn't get either, and he could have had both. And I mean, he was so good in the rest of the match, so you can't even get mad at him for it. But that moment was like, they could have won. That was the win. That was the win condition.
I saw top 5 comebacks of the event, and 2 of them were against Rogue, and it's just like, oh, like to feature your team twice on that list on losing ends of both times. It's a heartbreaker.
Still, they were legit.
They were. So unfortunately, or fortunately for NA, Complexity will be the team. So yay stickers, I'm assuming. Stock is going up.
I got one on my M4 even before the
M4 A4 or A1S?
A4.
He's not some kind of monster.
Yeah.
I guess I'm a monster then.
A1S.
I'm still living in 2014, bro. Okay.
Dude, I think more players would use the A1S if their whole team didn't hate them for using it.
Very true. So if it has a stigma right now, and it doesn't have enough, there's not enough peer pressure around the A1S. Say there's 3 players on a team using A1S, the other 2 will follow suit.
Yeah, it's just annoying when one person uses the A1S and then you ask for a drop and he's the only one that could drop you. It's like, oh, I guess I'm using the A1S now.
Yeah.
I
guess I'm that guy. I've had it so many times in like MM. I drop and they're just like, oh, A1S. I'm like, you can throw it back if you want. Like, I'll take it. I don't have to waste more money if you just want to rock a CZ. Like,
just buy me a FAMAS. Get it over with.
Yeah. Just get my death over with, but make it cheaper. All right. So Complexity makes it through, literally only playing Inferno. So I want to see a little bit deeper map pool come the actual major. That would be nice.
They can just play Inferno through to the major.
There's no way. I get like first matchup is against who? Fnatic. There's no way Fnatic play Inferno. Like they'll ban it instantly.
But then, here's the secret here. We don't know how deep their map pool is. They've been saving strats. They've only played Inferno. So everyone's going to ban Inferno because Inferno, they have no idea. They got no tape to go on for other maps. So maybe now teams just pick Inferno because that's the only one they have any tape on.
300 IQ plays right there in the Vino system.
Inferno is kind of a staple map right now in the map pool.
Very true. It's getting played a ton, especially like at the qualifier. It was played a lot. Even Don, it's Don Hackey or Don Hatchie. He made a comment on Twitter, just like Inferno, and he's just like, again, cool. He's sick of it, and I'm getting sick of it too. Show me something else, just not Dusk 2. I can't stand. So next team from the CIS Middle Eastern team, whatever they want to consider themselves, Hellraisers goes 3-1.
I was a big Hellraisers fan,
dude. with Woxic and Issa, it looks good.
I think my team did like predictions for the matches. I was the first day when they played North. I was the only person who voted Hellraisers, and I tried to convert my team, and nobody listened. You know, now North didn't make it, and Hellraisers is here.
Yep. So Michael Abood, the alpha, the pack leader, in Accelerate to a T for that one call right there. gotta show the troop who's boss. You know what I'm saying?
Can't resist the upset magic. Their new flip side.
Exactly. So Hellraisers is looking good with the duo, and obviously Angel leading it all, and then Bondic and you love Dead Fox?
I love Dead Fox. I've liked Dead Fox's opping since like what was it, like 2015, where they were the upset team, where they'd go into a tournament and Dead Fox would be a god, and they had like
Zero what?
Fox. Didn't they have a guy named Zero?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah, and they would come in and they would
that guy
upset
go?
teams.
I have no idea.
Zero.
He was super young.
Yeah, true.
He was younger than me. Did he have mandatory military service? I feel like he was one of those.
He might have.
I'm baseless speculation right here.
I think.
Baseless speculation is what's happening right now.
Or maybe he works a 9 to 5 like Darf and just quit CS.
Maybe that'd be disappointing. He was pretty good. He was a nice guy too, as I recall.
Very
but anyway, I like Hellraisers, and I've liked Dead Fox. When his op is on, he's nuts.
But I remember Dead Fox is a big name.
I find Dead Fox, and I know Thorin is a huge Dead Fox hater, and I feel like there's a little bit of justification to it because there's a lot of time when he's not on, and he's quite brutal.
Thorin is just a hater.
He is a hater. Very, very true. He's
player hater.
Unless the person's name is Device, he hates them.
Oh, he does love Simple though.
Very true. Yes, he does love Simple and Device, but Device over everything. Device over his own life. Anyways, those are the 3-1 teams.
Have you seen those eyes? Teams. How can you resist, man?
We got big, so some more UKCS in Smooya. But I thought they were obvious. I thought they were going to make it through no matter what, whether it was 3-0 or 3-2. I thought they were going to make it through. They look really good. So that was kind of expected. Vega makes it through again, I guess. Somehow, some way, they continue to make it.
Shark.
They shouldn't have won that first game against Spirit. I'm gonna throw that out there.
No,
they shouldn't have won that.
They were the first half.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Shark.
They shouldn't have won that game. Spirit threw that just because they didn't want to win. Apparently,
you pull up Shark photos.
Yeah, get Griff just pulling up Jaws.
Just Jaws. Yeah, I just want to see Jaws photos. We're gonna need a bigger boat. We're gonna need a bigger qualifier stage.
Yeah, so Vega makes it through 3-2. They beat North in the best of 3 to qualify. So I guess there was, a little bit of a justified winning here with that. And then Tyloo with their Puggy running through every smoke style that nobody can predict, and they just shit on them.
I'm low-key excited for Tyloo. I'm happy for Tyloo.
I am high-key not, considering the teams that they beat are all garbage too. So I'm not not on that hype train. They beat Gambit 1-3. They beat Renegades 1-3. They beat Spirit, who went 2-3.
Spirit looked all right
until they threw that first game, and then they didn't look all right.
Should have been Rogue. Rogue should have had that slot. Then it would be the NA major in London, which would be fitting. Reverse colonialism.
Exactly. So those are all the qualifying teams: Liquid, Nip, Astralis, Complexity, Hellraisers, Big, Vega, and Tyloo. So all the winners, there you go. But now we got to talk about the losers because these are spicy. First up, North 2-3. How do you go from winning Stockholm and just losing?
I'm not a big North fan.
No? Break it down for us.
I don't like them. And like that tournament win, I was trying to tell my team this, right? It's good, like great. They won a tournament, right? Not a lot of people win tournaments. It was a good tournament. The teams they beat were definitely good. But it was right after a player break that they didn't participate in. They played through the player break. MSL, they won the tournament because of MSL. I think everybody knows that. MSL isn't a star player. Like he's not going to do that every single game he ever plays. He's not a star player. He's not used to it. Maybe eventually he could get to that, but he's not there yet. And like it was a week before the major. Like teams just got off a player break. It was a week before the major. They're just playing that tournament just to play the tournament, just to have like get back into the motion and stuff. So that's why I didn't believe in North at all going into the major.
See, I went with the trollier storyline, which is the way I called it, was MSL is going to win one tournament to justify his job for another year and then go right back to sucking.
That's North special, man.
Straight
Like
into the mediocrity.
they got that sick sponsor because they played well in 1 month and then has never done anything since.
My theory is, I mean, I think you're absolutely right, where it's like everyone's coming out of the player break. Most teams are probably strat saving for the major, and North's like, fuck it, now's our chance. Win it all. Put everything out there. Nothing in reserve. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Cinderella story of winning Stockholm and then not going to the major. But at the end of the day, they still get sticker money. So who's the real winner here?
Apparently, sticker money isn't that great anymore. It goes down after every major.
Really? Do they keep adding more teams, or because Valve keeps taking an extra cut?
I'm not really sure. I just
Probably
know
Valve.
people.
Come on.
They publicly said that it's less and less every single major.
Damn it, people, buy stickers.
Give Valve your money so that way they can give some of it to the team.
Why does Dota get all the money?
I don't
All
understand
the
that.
money.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
We
It
need
would
to
actually
have...
encourage me more to buy them if I actually knew it was going towards the prize pool.
Yeah.
Facts.
Like there's literally no reason Valve shouldn't do that.
I don't know what the downside. I can't think of like a downside to a crowdfunded tournament.
Yeah.
Like if people want to give money, people want to give money. Like it's not a downside.
Valve.
Yeah, but I mean, if you already have like a system in place for like Dota, like it can't be that much harder to just like change things around like that.
I have no idea.
Gaben,
it's sad.
give us crowdfunded CS tournaments, please and thank you.
Please.
Other 2-3 team Spirit, way too much throw. There's too much throw for them.
I just don't know much to say about Spirit because I don't know that much about Spirit.
Yeah,
to be entirely honest.
The only thing I want to know is if they
got a cool logo.
censored Sumdai Young's name, because they called him SDY for the tournament mainly because that was the tag that he used in the tournament, but his full tag is Sumdai Young. I wonder if they like censored that.
Maybe, or maybe the casters just didn't know him before the tournament, so they just called him SDY because that's what showed up. Because I do that all the time. I'm like, I have no idea this person is. Someone in chat's like, his full tag is X Blaster 37. Like in chat, it just says
that's not
X.
his name.
He's getting called X.
Yeah. So I maybe there's a backstory to that. I don't know, but other than that, they went 2-3 and they threw the first game. So obviously, everything else that they did after that is just brutal. Optic, my storyline, they still suck. They are still not great, and they continue their mediocre run of CS.
I just love the fact that Complexity qualified and Optic
I
did.
know. Shazam and Stanislaw the problem.
Oh my God, Stan and Shaz after that happened must have just been
they
like.
have to feel so happy.
You know
especially
that,
right. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, you know that gif of the dude just going like celebrating. That's what I picture happening.
Because right after they like the Optic split or whatever, they played each other twice in 2 tournaments that they qualified for, and Optic beat them in both times too. So Complexity was probably feeling pretty crappy about that. But then they make the major and Optic don't. That's pretty crazy.
I had something in my mind and I forgot. Oops. Anyways, yeah, Optic
rattling around in there somewhere.
Yeah, maybe it'll come back to me. Who knows? Optic, you still suck, so you don't make the major. Gambit, first 1-3 team that I'll mention, still also kind of suck.
They should pay Angel whatever he wants.
They should disband.
Hang on one second.
Or their team, or Gambit should unsponsor them because they aren't winning anything.
I mean, they have good players too. That's what you hate to see.
Yeah.
Like, but they have Doja in game leading too, and it doesn't make.
Yeah, that's not the call. Doja, you can have all the looks in the world, but that means you can't have all the brains in the world. XGod cannot be leading this team. That's not how it goes. So yeah, Gambit go 1-3, surprising no one. I honestly like I feel like a lot of people might have even had them going 0-3 in their pick'em. And I doubt anybody had them actually making it out, regardless in their 8 slots or 7 slots or whatever it is. They are looking rough.
Their Alper looked really good. Mao ops for them.
Yeah.
He actually played really well.
He always has like he's like really streaky. Like he's been playing with either this roster or like Kazakhstan Dren for a really long time, like dating back to like Hellraiser days when Doja was also on that lineup. So like he's been like really good. It's just unfortunate that like the rest of the team can't cultivate all this talent in one place and make it really good. And a large part of it is probably the leadership. So another team that couldn't seem to cultivate all the talent, Rogue, our NA boys go 1-3.
They looked so
They also
good.
played a lot of Inferno. They
took
played out of their
North to
3
1 million
games,
rounds.
or 4 games.
They took North to 1 million rounds. They could have beat North. They nearly beat Astralis.
Yeah.
Astralis. Like. Also, can we just talk about the fact that they, as an NA team, played? I mean, admittedly, there was the lost spirit. That's bad. That's bad. You gotta.
Not even just that lost; they got destroyed.
You gotta
16 to
win
4.
those. You gotta win those. But they beat. Who did they beat? Oh my god, I'm blanking. It was an upset on somebody. Who was their win? Space Soldiers. Oh, never mind. Yeah, no, that's just beating a corpse. Yeah.
And it wasn't very great either. They won
This
16
doesn't-
to
this
10,
doesn't-
and
This doesn't fit my
and,
narrative.
that hard styron guy had 3 kills.
My narrative.
You tried there.
Good by narrative. Good try though.
Rip my narrative. Hey, look, they took Astralis to 16-13. It was within a stone's throw. They took North to 25-23. I mean, that was absurd. They could have won it. They could have closed it out so many times. I'm still excited for this roster. I really hope they don't really make any changes. So close.
And
I
at the
do
end of
too.
the day, you can't lose Cadian.
Yeah, I'm a big
Cadian is
Cadian
so
fan.
insane. Like
Cadian is really, really great on this team. He's IGLing, he's opting, he's top fragging. He's like everything. He's carrying this team by himself, basically. Not
And
by
surprising-
himself, but he's trying to lift everybody up.
And back in like I want to say like maybe 2015, 2016, like when he was actually playing on like Danish rosters, it's not like he was that great.
No,
Like over on Rogue, he really is this like hard carry kind of player, especially with all of his roles that he plays with the team. So he is a must-have on this team, and maybe even a must-have on other teams. Like I wonder if other organizations are looking at Cadian as a potential option on their team if they can reach a buyout, maybe.
Optics, like, please.
yeah, I was gonna say Optic.
Yeah.
I mean, Optic's not happy with that. Cadian I know, wasn't too happy about leaving home for an extended amount of time. So if I was Rogue, I'd probably be a little bit nervous.
Exactly. When he's building up his stock so much, there's got to be teams interested. So
Please no. Please don't.
don't steal our Danish boy.
We've imported him. We're gonna keep him. Thank you. He's American now. He's been here long enough.
So speaking of imports, Renegades 1-3. They beat Space Soldiers. So another disappointing outing.
It's tough to see an NA roster go out like this. But you know,
I don't know. Why do you keep doing this?
they've got two.
Renegades aren't American. They're not
They
an
live
NA
in Detroit.
team. I don't
There's
care.
nothing more American than living in Detroit. Because who would willingly go to Detroit? Shout outs to the city of Detroit. I'm sorry.
How dare you?
I mean,
no, they're not American. They are Australian with a Norwegian and an American. That's it. Anyways, they are not looking good.
all right.
Ever since losing NAF, they do not look good.
Here's my condition if a Danish roster wants to steal Cadian. Rogue gets Nifty. Doesn't he IGL for them too?
Yeah.
All right. That's the only way I'm okay with it. If we re-import Nifty.
We re-import, okay.
We steal him back.
Yeah.
Back from
We
Australia.
steal him back from Detroit.
From Detroit. from the foreign hellscape that is Detroit.
Yes. All right. And now the real disappointments, the 0-3s. Space Soldiers go 0-3 with Hardstyle. They wouldn't have if they had Engine. I think that can be agreed upon.
Yeah.
Their games were way too close with a coach that never dropped 10 kills. So they looked good other than that, but they played mostly 4v5 the whole time. And then the Legacy, the Golden 5, even though it's not really the whole Golden 5, but it's the Virtus Pro roster. They're done. Bialy is gone. He is officially gone from the roster. And It's just the old boys now.
It's the meme
It's the,
of like
it's the old boys and Snatchy. That's what
Pasha
it is.
Biceps is Mr. Neo. I don't feel so good, and just fading away.
Yeah, I think it's time to call it quits on the old VP roster. I feel bad for whatever kid is like, oh my god, play with legends that are gonna retire in like 5 months.
Whatever.
I mean, I
contract.
think they all have enough skill to still play. I just don't think they could play together.
Yeah,
Like,
like you look at Taz, went to Kingwood
Yeah.
by himself and won that event. Even admittedly, it was an event of tier 2 teams, but I mean, Kingwood is a tier 2 team, so
Yeah, I mean, when you play with people for so long, it's really easy to tunnel vision and not realize you're tunnel visioned on a lot of things. And I think it's like, I mean, that's why it's always like the honeymoon period, you know, when you bring somebody else in and even 2 people in, and it definitely changes. It like makes you take a step back and try to incorporate what they know, what they think the best way of CS is. And I think when you play with each other for so long, that like it's really hard to take a step back and change stuff.
have you experienced that yourself?
Not, I mean, obviously not to a certain extent like that, but I do think it's pretty easy to, especially when you have like a leadership role, and to like just thinking there's like one way to do stuff, and I think that's kind of where VP is right now.
Very true. Well, they look like garbage, so hopefully they
all that analysis boiled down to they look like garbage.
yeah, at the end of the day, they don't look good. They got
Yeah.
I like the Snatchy pick. Like I love that pick. Fantastic. But
Signing
the
them
rest
as
of you are
contracts
so
through
just
2020 was a brilliant move on Bialy and Neo's parts.
Mhm.
25K a month till 2020.
That's like one thing with Snatchy, man. Like you have to think he sold out, right?
Oh,
Like he knew that team wasn't good. You know, he's just
that
going there for the
salary?
sponsor, for the money. Like I
There's-
completely understand, but Snatchy's actually like a good player, you know, and
Mhm.
he has a lot of talent.
Look, all I'm saying is if they're still offering 25K a month contracts, they're doing something very wrong. They signed that when it was like VP contesting for every major. And then
VP not making the major. And that's where we're at. So unfortunately, that is it for them. But now we introduce you to the second iteration of the rapid fire predictions. And we're even going to get agM here. Me and Darf already got our predictions going, so we're going to go one by one with the matchups. I don't think this is in order of the day, but it's in order as Liquipedia had it. So that's how we're running it. Cloud9 versus Vega. Go.
Cloud9.
Vega. Come on. Come on. Too much NA faith.
I fear the shark, but I don't fear it that much.
The adrenaline has worn off. Cloud9's seen it. They're not going to get surprised, hopefully.
Cloud9's going to work. They've got the bigger boat.
I am the lone Vega lover here. FaZe versus Big.
FaZe.
I do think Big could like sneak a map.
Oh,
yeah.
If it's a best of one, easy. Smoothie can pop off for a game. Anyways, Navi versus Astralis. The big boy match, right? Day one.
I take Astralis.
I gotta think Astralis too. Their matchup is just Astralis has better maps versus them, and I think their playstyle just counters Navi's playstyle a decent amount.
MIBR versus Tyloo.
Oh.
MIBR.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I think that one's pretty set.
I don't even like that roster, and it's got to be them.
Mouse versus NIP.
I'm believing in Nip.
I'm going Mouse. I'm a hater. I'm gonna go Mouse.
It's coming back, boys. Nip magic is here to stay.
Can't keep Chris J down.
I'm going with Nip.
I mean, unless they figured out a way for Snacks to be more comfortable, I don't know. Like they haven't.
I feel
been
like it's just like
with
Snacks. Here's your bomb site. Do what you want.
Nah.
I feel like that should be the Snack strat. Just like do what you want, Snacks. We'll go play 4 on the other side, and you kill 3, and then we'll retake.
That's the old like Fnatic with Olaf, like 2015 strat. Like Olaf,
dude. But it's like Snacks too. You just remember all these crazy clips. Snacks are the Big Apple. It's the Big Apple. Snacks is like just Snacks do Snacks. You know, just let Snacks freelance. See, this is why you need to hire me as a coach, folks. My strat: go kill.
Windstrike versus Liquid. It doesn't even need to be said.
Yeah, I don't even need to.
Yeah. G2 versus Hellraisers.
I'm taking Hellraisers.
I couldn't hear you there, agM.
agM, your mic.
G2.
Oh,
Can
there
you
we
hear
go.
Yeah.
I like Hellraisers a lot. I like G2 a lot too, though. And Hellraisers, they rely a lot on Issa and Woxic for entering and stuff like that. And G2 plays a lot more sound CS, and I think G2 will win.
He's gonna
Really?
believe in the existence strats. I like it. All right,
like it.
final matchup: Fnatic versus Complexity.
You know my pick. Complexity.
I want to believe so hard.
If they win this, I'm just gonna heart will explode.
I'm going Fnatic.
I'm going Fnatic unless it's Inferno. Even though Fnatic would have all the info in the world, I'll still take Complexity on Inferno if they play it.
I don't know. I have faith. Ye is just too good. Ye too strong. He put up 45 on a map at Frag, and he's just carrying it through to the major. He went from Fragadelphia to the major. I was just like, I'm still gonna be as impactful.
Yeah.
I love
That's the NA dream, to be like, I'm gonna go win Frag and then make a major. That's the NA dream right there.
I mean, that is the most American thing ever.
That's all we want out here is just to win a frag and then go to a major, you know?
Exactly.
Dreams.
The most
Basically
prestigious
equivalent.
amateur event.
Basically equivalent.
Yeah.
Major, Fragadelphia, same.
Yeah.
Same.
It's the most prestigious amateur, local LAN, and then the most prestigious international LAN. Come on, makes sense. It's a logical incline. I don't know if it's at 45. That might be about an 89-degree incline on that. Going from that to that, but hey, Ye did it. So congrats on that 89-degree incline. But I think we beat the major pretty hard here with a hammer. So we're going to go to the event that coincided with that in DreamHack Montreal. So we ran it for about 45 minutes on the major and the intro with Mr. Michael Abood here. So we're gonna rapid fire through Montreal, and I don't have that many topics here. Kingwin ended up winning the event over Easy for Ensa. But the storylines that I want to talk about mainly are United and how they still kind of stink a little bit. I've shit talked to United a lot on this show because they just look bad. But I really want to hear the coach, the player's opinion on E-United, because I know that we got an E-United stan in DarfMike. We have an E-United closet fan, very overt hater. So I want to hear your opinion on that.
I think United they have all their players are the same skilled, right? You wouldn't pick out of that team like, oh, that guy's clearly the best player here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that has a lot to do with it. They don't really have anybody that steps up and will just carry games and rounds for them. Dapper doesn't occasionally. I don't think he doesn't consistently enough. This is Skylar's probably first time IGLing, or he may have IGL'd the old Selfish team, but they just don't really have anything sound to fall back on. They rely a lot on individuals' plays for mid-round stuff, like a 2K or something like that. And I don't know. They just don't. They don't do anything special. You don't watch them and oh yeah, that's cool, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They don't really have the individual skill to play like they do.
I like that comment. So they try to go for a lot of individual plays, and they don't have the individual skill to make the plays against the teams that they're playing up against. Sure, they're at the upper echelon of MDL. They're in Pro League now. So, but is that going to actually do them any good? And I know that DarfMike likes to bring up ECS all the time. They took so many maps in ECS. Well, they came in 6th against what, 10 teams?
12.
They went 9-9 on the season. So
first
you go 0.500%, and there's nothing to show for it.
Honestly, one thing I'd say is there's a market difference in United online, and it's just a reality of the situation. They don't play at their level on LAN. I think at this point they get in their heads a lot, and I think that they're a very emotional team just from the players that I know personally. They can get tilted pretty easily, and I think it comes to rear its head on LAN. And the other thing is, there's a market difference between United and LAN they don't give a shit about, like the players at Philadelphia or the players at Mad City, and United at LAN where it's like everything's on the line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they've gotten over that mental hurdle.
Yeah,
With
there's
that
just
said,
so
I do
many
think
instances.
I
Sorry,
do think
go.
they're going to surprise a lot of people this season in their pro league.
I'm
Like, I
telling
don't
you.
think they're going to be a typical like move up, like 1 in 22 teams that we've been
Oh.
seeing lately.
Yeah,
Obviously not,
I
but-
will agree with that. Yeah, they don't look like they're just gonna get absolutely
Yeah.
obliterated. Much like like Muffin Lightning or Rush or whatever the hell their name was. They were atrocious. And then I actually think United, like I'll be fair with the ECS point that DarfMike likes to bring up a lot. They went 9-9 against pro teams, so maybe they can get similar maps, but like
If they go
in
0.500
events like
in
these,
Pro
like,
League
they're
first
not-
season in Pro League, they're just fine with that. That's amazing. I mean, they'll be so happy with that.
Yeah, I
But-
don't think they're going to get relegated.
I don't think so either. I just don't think they should be happy with that. I think like
Yeah.
it's so low ball. Like for
Yeah.
this group of guys, especially at an emotional team, if they're getting tilted really hard. Just to think of like what they would be happy with if they actually like started to fucking win, and how like disappointed they're gonna be if they just settle for a 500 or like just barely below sub 500.
What I'll say is the next big thing on the horizon that I'm excited for these guys is that they qualified to agM Chicago, which is November like 10th or 11th or something like that. That's going to be interesting because it's Dazzle's home crowd. So he's going to be ridiculously hype. And the whole team as a whole, like it's going to be their next chance to really prove themselves on LAN. And that I want to see. That I do want to see. Very much so. But I think we should move on. One other note about DreamHack. It is great to see Taz lift a trophy. That's just nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been a while for him.
Such a nice personality in the scene. Feels good.
It is a feels good, man. And at least we got to see some Finnish CS actually do something a little bit as well. It's been a minute since we've seen any of that.
Alu, the winter sniper, making it happen.
And the only other thing that I wanted to mention was that I guess Kingwin's probably the best Polish team now, definitively.
Yeah.
I'd
They-
say so.
They
The
kinda
best Polish
handled
player is
agM.
not even on a team.
Yeah,
Innocent's not on the team. I'm the number one Innocent fan. The guy used to be so good.
back on like the old G2 days.
The guy
Those
was the
were
best.
the classic days. But yeah, that's about it for Montreal. Kingwin win. E United are still a little poopy.
Now here's the next juicy topic.
Oh, the roster
juicy time.
movements.
Roster moves.
The number one
MDL.
thing.
Woo!
Ben Leeds kick.
Wow.
That did that surprise you as much as it might have surprised me, Michael?
Yes, and it surprised him too. I talked to him a lot. It's just one of those things that it doesn't make a lot of sense, I don't think, and especially with who they replaced him with. They replaced him with Food. Those two players are completely different, and I mean that obviously
Yeah.
teams could change and stuff like that, but I don't know. It seems a little weird to do it right now.
Is Food gonna call?
I don't know. I know like they always switch calling between Vanity and Ben, so Vanity might be calling again.
That'll be a scene. So there are two things that I wanted to, and this is probably just baseless speculation as we typically do on the show, but on the day that he gets kicked, all members of this team make a tweet. They're a little sad of kicking Ben, but the only one that doesn't is Ryan.
I just want to say,
What does
like, if
that
my
mean?
team ever decides to cut me and you all tweet that, I'm actually furious.
That
Like,
they
I
all
don't
are
tweet that you're
upset.
sad that you
Yeah,
got cut.
like if you're upset, don't cut me.
Yeah, very true.
Like, have a conversation with me. From what Ben told me, they never had a conversation with him about anything,
Oh,
about
that's
him
bad.
improving on him at all and anything. So already, I'm pretty pissed about that just being cut like that. And then like they're just gonna tweet out like, "Oh, I'm so sad. Oh, this is the worst day of my life." Well, you could have not done that.
Yeah, very true.
You had the power to fix this.
Yes.
Does he does he know why he was cut?
From what I heard, it's just attitude and in-game stuff. I don't really know.
From his side or like other people?
Uh,
Probably.
Obviously, his
undisclosed.
He's gonna be a little
Okay.
biased. He's gonna be a little
Okay,
biased.
very true, very true. So this is another thing, and this might just be me because I've been to only one LAN, so I've only seen these two guys together once. So Ben and OC have played on multiple teams together. When I saw them at LAN, they were inseparable. Like I didn't see them apart from each other once. unless they went to the bathroom or something, in which they could have gone together too. Who knows? But like, I thought these guys were really good friends. Like what? Like I want to know like what OC might have tried to do to avoid having this happen, or maybe they're just not as good of friends as I thought they were.
I mean, in a team environment, it's a little bit different. I think it depends. Like, I don't know like how the team attitude is, or who's like the ringleader per se. Like OC has always seemed to me like as a quiet kind of guy, and not like an outspoken when it comes to team stuff. So I mean, that could have played a part as well.
Very true. I saw you making a face over there, Mike.
What was that?
What was that about?
Which face is this? Oh, this was
I don't know. You're kind of like
guys going to the
like-
bathroom together. I was like,
oh,
spurned lovers? Who knows?
I don't know if I'd go that far, but
I know,
I'm just
I don't
saying.
know.
I'm just saying. I at least thought that they were friends, but obviously OC is a quiet guy, and I've witnessed that as well. So I wonder if maybe he was just kind of like, okay, guys, you can kick Ben. Like I'll just snipe. I'll just opt for you guys. I just buy the 4750 cannon. That's all I do, and I'll be good. So, or maybe he's just a closet food fan and is like, oh my god, I get to play with the legend food.
They collapsed in playoffs last season, but they were so deadly going in. Like,
and if these
they had
guys
such a
do
good run.
get, if these guys do get, the grace period, afterwards when you replace somebody and they go into this with a lot of confidence and stuff, they're going to be really scary for this season. Because they're all really good players that like feed off of momentum and stuff like that.
Another emotional team, maybe, much like in United. Yep. I think that tends to happen with younger fraggers. Other changes: Mizu was spotted on the test takers roster, so I guess he's coming back. I think the last roster he was on was Ghost, I want to say. And I think before that, Fly Guy Entertainment, like FGE, playing with like Shot Up and I think Hunter at the time as well. I've called into question, I think other people have called into question his motivation to play the game, because he's kind of like come in and come out a lot. So I just wonder if he's actually going to play out this season with test takers, even if he is maybe on the team or not. I just saw the transaction on ESEA.
Yeah, I don't really know him too much, like anything of his past experiences. I just know that like the people usually bring him in when like the team's dying or the team died, and just like finish out stuff.
Yeah,
he seems to be a good player and stuff, so maybe he's actually good to do something on an actual team that's taking it seriously and stuff.
See, the Undertaker takes the teams to the grave.
Yes,
rides in the carriage, brings them to the grave.
Yeah, as the team's like slowly dying, he like tries to like hold them up a little, then they get too heavy for him. Other move is that the Monstars are declared dead by XP3 and Crashies. Crashies has said that he's just going to focus on his stream right now. XP3 is open to teams.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Monstars was looking so good.
And now they're just dissipated.
You kind of wish they had declared their roster dead before relegation, so like a team could take that spot.
I don't know.
Maybe Vault will get it. Like I can't see why not. Maybe unless ESEA is just like, oh, perfect, one less team that we have to like relegate for next season. So they could just take that as an opportunity to just have one less team in the league. But I would think that they'd give it to Vault.
Yeah.
Since they were the runner-ups. Other than that, that's all I know on those two players. I don't know about any else. And I heard that like they tried out a bunch of players, or just like it wasn't worth going out the whole season with. So they just didn't bother.
Vision's just smart, They got a proto. They killed the team.
Yeah.
Cut the competition.
Sean Gares has been spotted on the Swole Patrol roster. Is he gonna play? And this is the
None of them are paid or anything, so I'm not sure.
Silent Clown and whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know anything else about that Silent situation? How he just like hijacked the roster?
I know they gave it to him. Like he didn't hijack it at all.
Oh, okay.
They willingly went to Swag's roster because I know they're all really good friends with Silent and stuff. So I'm sure that cutting him wasn't like the easiest thing for them to decide on, and then this was kind of just like a way to ease the blow, probably in some form.
Make amends.
Very true. So yeah, I wonder if Sean Gares will be involved in the MDLC at all, but It'd be really
mean,
interesting.
Maybe he was trolling with Old Guys Club and Open. He realized that
Very true.
where's the fun? Wants to put his big old brain back to work. Maybe he's not even going to play full time because he's doing a lot of analyst work. So maybe it's kind of a if I'm available thing.
Can do it like that.
Be interesting to see him on a roster.
And the last one, Seziwana and Infinite are on AZO. Says he wanted to keep the spot for the first 8 games or whatever it is with him and Frosty K. And one Modem is gone.
Yep.
He's got to be doing big things. Like
wild. I got some scoop on this. I'm actually going to be talking to Bibby this Thursday for Darf Talk, so that's going to be really interesting. We're going to get a lot of inside scoop there. So, folks, if you're watching this right now, tune in Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be chatting with Bibby, the coach of this roster. But a lot of what I heard is they wanted a more team-based player. And as I understand it, the original plan was actually to bring in Voltage for Hunter. And then Dignitas dropped their team and Infinite became available and wanted to join the team. Like Infinite came to them, I think, and said, I want to be on this team. And you got a player like Infinite, you're going to pick up a player like Infinite.
Yeah, for sure. So Voltage is in the lineup. That worries me, much like agM starting last season worried me.
I'm with you on this one. I was never a big Voltage fan.
Yeah, I think he had like a little like too much hype around him just because of the team that he was around. And being gone for what 2 seasons straight? I question whether or not he's actually gonna do anything.
Well, not 2 seasons. He got cut halfway through last season. Or at the beginning of last season.
Okay. But he retired briefly.
Yeah, he went to college. That's the thing that I'm most concerned about. He just went to college. Like it's his freshman year of college.
Well, also like the reasons why he was cut.
Yeah.
Is gonna be, who knows if they're gonna play a part again. His dedication was pretty low. And he's playing other games more than Counter-Strike and stuff like that. So
going to college for a semester, that always winds up being more time than you think it is.
For sure.
Yeah, and also they're all in a team house too, so it's kind of interesting like that.
Although Grim's not either. Grim is home. Grim isn't either. He's finishing high school. So it's 3 of them in the team house with Bibby and Ian for a little bit, I guess.
Yes, that must be awkward.
Yeah, Ian's just like chilling on the couch, just like, all right, guys, have fun. So he was cut.
Yeah.
He was cut. He did not willingly leave. He was cut. What's really interesting to me, from my talks with Ian and with Gage as well, way back in Chicago in March, Ian and Gage are really close friends. Gage is Infinite, Ian is MOTM, are very close friends. So you kind of wonder if a piece of Infinite wanting to come over to this roster was wanting to play with MOTM.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
and they pull the rug out from under him.
It's weird. It's wild to make a swap this close to the season.
Yeah, registration ends in what, 2 days?
I think so.
Oh, nope, 5 hours.
5 hours. Dang. So that's pretty
6
wild.
if you round up. But yeah, that literally at like what, 1 a.m. my time, it'll be done.
The insight I got also was that one thing they wanted was Voltage and Snakes are incredibly comfortable with each other. Apparently, Snakes playing with Voltage just makes him a better player, and that he communicates more, and they play sites together, and they play really well on sites together. So they wanted that chemistry in the roster. And also they wanted a more dedicated op after getting rid of Hunter, which is why the original plan was to replace Hunter with Voltage. And then they kind of threw a wrench in that works with Infinite coming in. So really, it's effectively Infinite replacing MOTM.
Yeah.
I guess.
Interesting.
They play 2 way different roles. I do think they're both really good at what they do.
So you have the inside scoop of where one Modem might be going.
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, he can go anywhere he wants, really. Like when you have the season that he had last season, I feel like he can
back to Furio. That's not going to be awkward, guys.
He's known as like a super emotional player as well. So like he doesn't have like a super good standing, I think, with most players in MDL. I like him personally. I think he has a really good attitude, and he approaches the game in a good way. I've never played on a team with him or anything like that, so I don't really know how he is in the team environment. but like no like top teams are gonna do a roster change, so he kind of got screwed. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know like what kind of team he's gonna join.
And the thing is, what I worry about is if he's not going to play on an MDL team, I don't think he even wants to play on an advanced team.
No.
Like I doubt he'd go down a division just to play.
Maybe one of the
I mean,
move ups.
I could see people like him getting on a decent team mid-season if he doesn't decide to play on like a worse team at the beginning of the season.
I mean, if he goes to a team like Ethereal or a team like Big Frame, if he like approaches them and is like, "Hey, I want to join," do you think they turn it down?
I don't really know either team that well. I don't think Big Frames would. I think they're pretty happy with how the team is. I don't know anything about Ethereal though.
I don't think Ethereal would do it.
I don't really know much about Ethereal. You've got more inside scoop there than I do.
Yeah, I honestly, like, even if he went down to like the lower end, that's what I would consider the advanced teams making. I'd consider it the lower end of MDL, or at least like middle of the pack.
Sure.
I doubt they'd be open to just adding in Ian. So I guess he'll just kind of have to see how the season plays out, and he'll probably get called on eventually. I mean, after a couple games, people get tilted. They're like, all right, get this guy out of here. If Ian's available and wants to play for us, we'll do it. Like Crashies is in that same situation of like, I'm just gonna stream until somebody picks me up.
I'm kind of surprised that like XP3 and Crashies and MOTM won't do something maybe, or I don't know. Like that's like a good core.
Do they still
people.
have time?
Call themselves the leftovers. There you go.
Pick up you can pick up Sezi after he cut from ASIO.
True. So yeah, like maybe like 8 games and halfway through the season they'll make a team. Maybe ESEA will.
We're not dead.
Yeah, Monsters back alive, guys.
Time to bring Maui Snake out of the casting chair and back into the.
Very true. All right. So those are all the roster moves. ASIO making the biggest waves randomly. You wouldn't expect it out of a team that went like 6-10, 7-9 last season, but they're doing a bunch of stuff, including living in a house together, which amazes me. For an MDL team, unless you're Bravado or Team One, do you really need a gaming house? That is the question.
They're planning to make it. So. They want to make it. They want to make pro.
We'll see.
And I don't think a gaming house, like you could argue, gaming house works in this level, but you gotta have at least everybody there for it to work.
Very true. And you can't cut players and have them still live there.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it a little awkward.
They're probably kicking them out, but
yeah,
I saw a tweet of a plane ticket. I think
dude, that's so awkward.
It is so awkward.
Yeah, I feel bad, but what do you do? That's esports for you, kids. You get cut from orgs because they have a different plan. That's just how it works. But that is all for the roster moves. Last topic of the day, my brainchild. The most important topic of the day. The major irrelevant. MDL entirely kind of relevant to this, but irrelevant in the grand scheme of everything.
Losing. I mean, this is all comes down to Darf losing to me.
It all does. Yeah, 100%. The MDL Fantasy League.
All I do is win.
MDL season 27
I do
featured the league. And then I took time off to do school, and now I'm back. And I'm out of school, and I'm esports full time, which means that the fantasy league is back full time, which means I'm probably going season 29, 30, 31, whatever, all the seasons. So our teams, Mike, what is your team looking like?
I'm Mike.
Oh,
too.
sorry,
That's
you're both named Mike.
DarfMike's more important.
No, we're going with guess Mike. We're going with
guess Mike.
VIP.
I have Infinite, Caboose, Swag, Freakazoid, Stellar, Food, Nico M, and Elusive.
All right, so
I'm pretty confident.
I got 3 questions for you. Who is your team MVP? Who do you believe will be?
I'm thinking Infinite.
On the ASIO roster, replacing MOTM to come out on top.
Here's the thing. Since you drafted this team, 2 of these players have swapped teams.
I mean, I definitely didn't go into that draft knowing that Infinite was joining ASIO or anything. I swear.
You didn't have that insider information.
No, that would be not nice.
That would be unethical. Would you consider that unethical?
That's crazy. I don't have Hunter on my team either. That's kind of weird.
To be fair, Infinite,
funny how that happens.
Not on a roster as a hockey.
It's almost like we were at a LAN with
I know, it's
like
crazy.
the week before the draft. It's funny how I also did not draft. Funny how that worked out.
All right, so
He
on
looked
your
real
roster,
good at land too.
on your 8-team roster, players you're worried about.
I
Well,
think
players
the
that I
weakest
have-
player I have is elusive. Caboose has always been kind of inconsistent from season to season as well, so you don't really know. I don't know what I'm going to be getting out of Caboose, but he's been playing really, really well, especially with his new team.
Very true. And your favorite player, like out of all of them, one that maybe you picked later, and you're like, yo, the value on this guy or something like that.
Nico M. I got Nico M. One of the last rounds of the draft, and that guy owns.
The Argentinian on the Brazilian roster. It's a solid pick. I mean, everybody's beastly in their own way, so I like that pick. All right, host Mike, your squad.
I got Dirty Peak Pete. I got the Ginger God himself, a proto. I got Young God Snakes, Young Fragger, now activated with a little jolt from voltage. I got the Boomio Legend Tens, who once wandered the streets of Philadelphia at 3 o'clock in the morning, saved by an MCE on the prowl. I got the fifth man in the blackout suit, Janji, the new addition, the Fragger, the Entrier, the Magic. I got a little Brazilian spice in there, a little steakhouse flavor, MCH. Then I got the man with the climate, Tropical. That's
Climate. Our favorite climate change boy, Trop.
I got the squad.
You missed somebody.
Who did I miss?
You missed our one and only guest.
My number one fragger. Save the best for last. Number one fragger on the team. The man who's on the screen with me, Mr. agM, is on my team. I drafted him specifically so that I could beat agM, who is in my league, by the way, with agM. I'm going to beat you with yourself. It's going to be so meta. It's going to be so psychologically mind-bending.
He's gonna throw like the
I'll
week
throw
that
an
you two
MDL match.
Exactly, bro. Head to head against you on whatever.
agM banned for throwing. Why did you throw? Well,
when do you play
match.
agM?
It's later in the
week 5. You play agM. He's gonna throw both those games that week.
He'll have forgotten by then. I guarantee it. And then he'll just be like, "Oh, it's Train. 30 kills. No, wait, sorry, 38 and 12."
Yeah.
And then I'll show him the stat line and watch him cry. And then he'll have won a game, so he'll probably be pretty happy about that.
All right. So of my 3 questions, is he altogether your favorite MVP and the player you worry about?
So
because he could throw, he could do real well, and you really like him.
I'm very excited about this team. First of all, I got Dirty Pig Pete. He was a god last season. I don't know if he's going to have a team this season, to be honest. There's a non-zero chance.
It was a risky first pick.
Yeah.
There's a non-zero chance he says, "Screw it, I'm out," which would be unfortunate. But if he plays, he's a god. A proto looked real good on LAN. I like it. He had like back-to-back 3Ks at one point, one with a Deeg and then one with a rifle. So he's
an auto shotty god.
He's an auto shotty god on Nuke, playing that role for Vision. It's a big role for Vision. Let's see. I mean, honestly, if I had to isolate, super excited for, apart from this beautiful man above me on the screen. Is he above me or is he lateral to me right now?
I think he's above you.
All right, the beautiful man above me right now. I'd say it's Snakes, just because I'm really curious to see what Snakes is going to be like now that he's back on a team and he's back in form. I like Snakes as a player. I like Snakes as a kid. I like his family. He's a good kid. Comes from good roots.
Who are you worried about?
Want to see
out of all those 8 players,
there's this scrub on my team named agM. I'm concerned that he's gonna throw a match in the actual league to get it actually.
He's actually gonna drop negative kills. That actually does negative damage.
Concern.
So, like he'll just TK
everybody every round.
Zeus his teammates. Oh god.
Right out of spawn.
I would cry.
I'm coming for T Connors.
Question for you, agM. Can you get kicked from a server for TKing in an MDL match?
No.
So you can just TK all you want.
Stop him.
Oh, that's spicy.
There's been horror stories of people doing that in like
that's how
1.6 days
banned.
and stuff.
And that's how agM got banned. Rip agM.
I mean, yeah, that probably won't go so well for you in the end.
But
Might win that fantasy.
I'll win that matchup.
And that's all that matters. All right.
That's all that matters.
So your MVP is Snakes, or that's your favorite player?
I don't know that I have an MVP yet. You got to see how He's the player I'm most anticipating the excitement for.
Okay.
So that's what I'll say. And the player I'm most worried about is agM throwing again.
Yes,
Serious
of
problem.
course. That could happen. We
Also,
see it.
I'll say MCH just because while I really like the Brazilian, I do think that people are giving them more than they're due at this point. I think that it's going to be a bit of a reality check to see them playing against top MDL teams, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. I think they'll farm the bottom teams, but I think it'll be interesting to see them play against the top.
Very true. All right, and now your commissioner / manager / overlord of the fantasy league, the creator and proprietor of the MDL fantasy league.
Try not to fluff yourself up too much there.
What other good adjectives can I use for myself? Overseer, that's a good one too. I'll use that. All right.
Lord High Commissioner of the Fantasy League, read out your picks.
I'm pretty sure my number one pick was Spongy from Vision. I got Cooper playing on FYB / Swole Patrol 1.0. I got Flom, so I got the double snipes. And here, the thing about Flom is he's like the only decent player on that team to me, next to like maybe a Dren. Hazed, like yeah. No, I'm not some big Haze. I'm not a mythic stan. I just kind of like Flom in his on. He's usually a top 5 opera. I'll give him that. I'm pretty sure I got him late in the draft, but I took Dangerous. And this is a boy I've been hyping up, and I'm really glad he's on agM's team, and I hope that he's been looking good in practice.
Yes.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Because I hope that translates to actual matches, and I hope he doesn't suck because I need those points.
Standing over his shoulder at LAN, I was impressed by his communication. He's got that good comms.
Yeah, I've watched his stream a few times, and like I actually the overall like kind of feel he has in a team, regardless if it's like an actual team like Accelerate or like a Pug team just playing in FACEIT or ESEA. So like his overall personality, I think, helps him.
Comms don't get you points, Balty. Comms don't get you points.
That's true. So I'm hoping that he fills the stat sheet. Try to calm down on the fragging, agM. All right, you don't need to hog the stat sheet. My boy Dangerous needs to
hog it away.
So hog chill. It away. I took Brazilian Blood IDK. I'm hoping that he does something. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get TRK. That would have been the pick of the century. I'm pretty sure I had pick 8. So if I got him at 8, that would have just been stupid. So I'm really hoping that IDK is able to do something. Everybody in their own way on that Brazilian team is looking good. I took another Opper in Ponalone from Vireo Pro. That one I'm pretty sure was a little bit of a late pick as well. So like to pick him up for the bench, I think it'll be good, and it'll be purely matchup based. If he plays like a shit team, I'll just throw him in. And then I took the man that just got cut, Ben Leitz. So I might have to make a switch here, or unless he joins a team.
Hold him. Hold.
I'll hold until
trust your instincts.
Things are announced.
Hold him like people holding Des Bryant in fantasy football. He's got to end up on a team somewhere.
Yeah, very true. And he probably maybe will on a vet deal.
I'm sure he will.
Can still get a vet deal. And then who I thought was his best friend, OC. I took OC as well. I got mad op squad. Okay.
You just drafted them. You just drafted them for the like chemistry. You wanted that team, and then it's like in a FIFA game where you put the players next to each other for team chem, and then just ruined.
You know what I'm doing here exactly. So I was like, yo, team chem, I got them together. Let's see what's gonna go on. So at least like if the matchup was good, I could play them both, and then they could both just dominate that team. Give me all those points. So team MVP. I'm thinking it'll probably be Spongy. He was my first pick. He's really good for vision. He's just the team's overall looking strong, and they're going to be a top team. So
number one hair game on your roster.
Sorry?
Number one hair game on your roster.
Oh, for sure.
Elite hair game. Elite hair game.
I mean, we almost have this. Maybe if my hair was like this, we'd have the same haircut.
You got to grow it out like an extra 2 inches. And then you get Spongy levels of pro hair.
His haircut is kind of like my grade 8 haircut, and I've kind of rocked this weird thing for a while.
I dig the flow. I dig the flow.
Oh, the flow. It's a staple. You gotta have it.
Flow. He's iconic.
Players I'm worried about, despite the fact that he will also be my favorite player, I'm worried that Dangerous will be unlucky in his first season. So he would be a rookie this year. So going into my other podcast, he's eligible for the rookie of the season. I'm just worried that he will crack under pressure. I'm worried that he might not be the number one option on his team because there's a lot of nutty players.
Look, when your whole team is built around setting up agM from fragging, it gets hard to pick up the scraps after he gets a 4K.
agM, I'll ask you a question right now. This could like very heavily weigh on me dropping Dangerous right now. What is his role in the team?
He's second in.
Collusion!
Him and Sidestep or like
trading right now.
All right, easy. Sidestep dies. Dangerous, bap, 3K every round.
That's you gotta wait until you see Sidestep. He doesn't die. He just gets both kills.
Very true. I am a little worried about that. Sidestep was also very high on my draft as well. So
mine too.
We'll see. But so Dangerous, my favorite player, also my player to worry about, and then my team MVP is Spongy. So that is the fantasy league. And if you aren't involved in the fantasy league, you can next season. Registration is closed. Much like the SEA's registration is closed in 6 hours.
Closed. Now we got to wrap this up pretty quickly. Actually,
very true.
Following ours now. This is a new addition to the NSG TV lineup. It's a Rainbow Siege 6.
Yeah.
Podcast. So if you're interested,
coming up right after this,
check it out. It's gonna be literally right after. So I will be
watching that.
We got to wrap this real quick. agM, Michael agM Abood, thank you so much for coming on the show. If you guys like what you saw, you liked his talk, you like his tactics, follow him on Twitter at agM_CS. And of course, follow him on Twitch as well. Go into his stream. What's your Twitch?
agMM.
agMM. Give him a follow, give him a like, give him a sub. Donate to his stream so he can buy a camera. He doesn't have to flick every 30 seconds. Make that happen. So give him some love. Anything you want to shout out, agM?
No, just thank you guys for having me. This was a lot of fun, and if you ever need me back, I'm here.
I'm sure we will be calling you back during this. Maybe after you come off a hot loss and I get to roast you.
Absolutely. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap up here. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. We had a great time. As always, I'm DarfMike. This is Balty. You can follow us on Twitter at DarfMike or at Baltybaby. We will be back next time, same place, same faces, -1. Maybe add some faces.
Who knows?
Tune in next week. Find out.